Okay, these are 3 pieces we'll cut out later. So here, we're gonna fold this in half. Make sure that this and this is flush. And then open it up, and we're gonna fold this crease on both sides. Make sure there's enough slack this way so that this doesn't happen. You don't want it to tear. So line up flush onto this end. Make sure it lines up here just fine. And then we're gonna fold it one more time. Just like that. Then we go into the other side. Do the same thing. Make sure it's flush on this side and then push across. Now you flip it around. You have different story boxes. So this is where you draw the border for box 1 and for box 2. So this is where you decorate it. And we also have these separate boxes on the side that are for anything small. You can draw a person if you want. I like to draw a border for each of these boxes. Look at this project that I have already finished. Now what you do next is you have these extra flaps here. You want to flip that outwards. So it should be as if the theater has feet. So you're gonna have to draw your door. That's your left side. And this is your right side of the door. So be sure to line it up. Make sure that it looks pretty in line with each other. This is your stage for the higher levels. This is your stage. So we have box 1 and box 2. Box 1, box 2. This is box 1. Draw a border. To the stage, just like that. And well, these are actually the borders of the stage itself. And at the bottom, this is where you draw the stage, the actual wooden stage. You can bring these down. But it always meets on the corner of this, okay? You don't want to draw outside. And you can draw a wooden stage if you like. And then here, maybe just a little higher than halfway point. That's when you write your sentence. And then we leave this room. We need to keep this space empty for the other smaller parts, the actual pop-up mechanism. Now that you've cut out this bottom part, there's 3 pieces, 1, 2, and 3. So let's start with the big one. Now that you finished cutting these, you should see the 2 pencil marks here. You just turn that around. Make sure that the pointed arrow is facing you at the bottom. And this is where you draw your theater sign. So right here, from this point to this point, we want to draw kind of like a line, but not to let it meet the corner. Instead, we're going to kind of follow this in parallel, draw a line parallel to that to meet that line. So I'm looking at this, draw a parallel line, and let it meet together. Now draw the borders around. Always draw your borders before you write anything on it so that you have room for your first word on top, the animal or whatever thing that you lost. So I lost a grasshopper. Grasshopper and then theater. It's going to be a shorter word, so start it kind of centered as much as you can. And there you have it. Now you can decorate it. And now that you have it decorated, fold it in half. Make sure it's flush like this, and that the middle, the pointy here, is sharp. Make sure that's sharp. Press that in. Just like that. And then we're going to measure, we're going to make a fold at the pointed end. I'm measuring 98 millimeters down that center, getting a pencil, marking 98. We're going to fold inwards now. Again, we're going to meet down the middle. Just like that. Now we're going to write with our name pen. On the left side, past continuous. 2 sides. Make sure that the word continuous can fit here and not run off the side, off the edge of this paper. So something like that. Past continuous. And then we're going to write on this side too. Simple past with capital W, when, and capital W, while. And there you have it. We set this aside for now. Now we're bringing this in. This semi-triangle thing. So as you see here, this is a folding line. So do not cut there. Okay? Do not cut these. Cut the outside of everything. Now, with the pencil marks facing up, you're going to fold inwards. And again, you want to make sure that this point is sharp. So fold it where it's sharp and also be flush with everything here. Keep it symmetrical. Everything looks good. I have a sharp end, and all of these mostly meet symmetrically. Okay? Now, we're going to fold the inside here. And now it looks like you have a semi-triangle, except you don't have these corners. We're bringing back this body. So you have these flaps, these little wings. And we're going to paste glue on here and stick it on here. Now this is very important. When you stick it on there, you want a little bit of pencil mark, showing a little bit of pencil mark on both sides. You'll see that this thing doesn't exactly fit exactly on here, as if you kept everything flat and you try to glue it together. It doesn't exactly fit like that. Glue the flaps nice and good. Make sure you put a lot on there. So this is what you want to do. You want to make sure that this pointy end meets the center fold as you're pressing down. So I'm gonna press down on the thumbs. And let's make sure that the pencil marks still show. Make adjustments. Do everything you can to try to keep that pencil mark visible. And there, you have to let it dry. Once it's dry, you can fold it like this. Okay, now we're bringing back this piece, and you just cut that out. And then as you see, there's two corners to this. It's folded in half, showing the pencil marks. Make sure that you have a sharp end so that it's even, because we're going to cut along this line and we're going to fold on this line. And open it up, and then you're going to push that this way and fold on this line. And fold on this line, and then evenly make sure that this is flush. If you push this, sometimes it's kind of off. You don't want that. This is the focus right here. So make sure it's flush. And then this end, you cut off just about that much. This is the correct way. So hold it. Let's bring back this piece. And what we're going to do is attach this to the inside of here. So it's going to be like this. Okay. So we glue the outside flaps here and here. The outside. If you are confused, just know that you should glue inside the V. Inside the V. Only on this part. Putting plenty of glue on there because this has to be very strong. And we're gonna glue the side. Okay. put it inside here and glue here. Take this and fold it in so that these two touch. And then we're going to take this piece, the sign, and insert. Okay. I just put that flap inside here, and you want to push it all the way in, and then pull back just a little bit, and then tilt this tip down, just like that. This is flat, this should be tilted down. Go ahead and tilt some more down, just like that. And now you can apply pressure. Make sure that this is flat, and there. We have attached the sign to the pop-up mechanism. So we're going to bring back the pop-up mechanism and glue it to this. And how we're going to do that is we're going to glue the exterior parts of this. So I'm going to take out my glue and glue it pretty well, because this is what's going to hold the whole thing. It's going to hold up the entire thing. And remember how we left space up here so we can glue this on. When we put it on, a little bit of nose is going to stick out like that. You'll see. What we want to do is make sure that this flap here is flush with the surface of this. And to make sure that it's centered, so I'm holding both ends. A little bit of nose is sticking out, and kind of fold inwards. Okay. And you'll notice immediately, as this is perpendicular, as this one's flat, this is still tilting down. That's exactly what I'm looking for. We need that. But most importantly, you need to make sure that this is centered as much as you can. Just push it back in. Make sure that this is flush, not sticking out. Make sure it's not sticking out. Just like that. Push it down. You're gonna have to fold this piece over so that you can press it down. Make sure it's flush. Always keep an eye on that. Make adjustments. Yeah. Try to. You do have to work a little fast while it's drying. The nose is still sticking out a little bit. That's good. And to test it, well, the glue's a little wet right now, but I think if we try to, there we go. See, there's clearance. It folds over, the sign successfully flips over the actual building, and that's what we need. This. So if it works, it lifts up the sign. When you put it together like this, it's well sealed. Like the sign itself is not popping out too far, and it's not too far in. Now that everything is built, we're going to need fishing wire, some tape, and a pair of scissors. And we're going to make the puppet. So we're going to take about a good amount of string, okay? A good amount of fishing line, enough to work with. Nothing too short. You can always cut it, but you can't make it longer. That is our cutting line. We're going to cut down to that pointed piece, pointed end. And both ends. We have a slit, and that's where we put our fishing line. So we grab our fishing line, tie 2 knots, 1, 2. There's 1 knot, and then we go around again for a second knot. Let's see, where's that other knot? Oh, there it is. There we go. And we're gonna stick it through the slit that we made through here. The long side goes down into the theater. With the knot on top, slide this fishing line into it. So we need a piece of tape. Cut a small piece off, about that much. And you have this little paper slit here. We're going to tape off that edge with a small piece of tape. And you do it for the other side too. This should lock down the string with the knot on top. This way you can take this top string that's shorter and make adjustments to your puppet. And now we have 2 strings. Now let's bring back some of that scrap paper that we have left over when we cut out the pieces. This is enough paper to make a puppet. So just cut out a puppet from about this size. Now that you have your puppet, and mine is a grasshopper hopping through a loop of fire, you need to cut 2 slits. One on the right side, like this, and one on the left side, like that. So that way you can take your string and fit it through. You want to put the string from the front and the knot on the back. Pulling it through, find the knot where it's secure. The knot, and so you want to just get a piece of tape, and you're gonna so you're gonna tape off the edge. If you have anything excess hanging off the edge there, you get a piece of, you just get the scissors and just cut it off. So you look in the left side, left slit. Take the piece of string, take the fishing line, and feed it through with the knot behind it. And then you tape it from behind. I have a smaller piece of tape to fit. Let's see. And there. Take the strings from above, and you can make adjustments. You can make it low, you can bring it up high, however way you like. Now, you have all this extra string down here. We're gonna find the knot, and then cut the excess. That means the extra string. And to the right side, same thing. Where's that fishing line? Find the knot, and I'm gonna cut the excess. See, here's the knot. I'm gonna pull it until the knot reaches the puppet. Do that for both sides, and adjust from the top. Just like that. Congratulations! You have made Vernon's theater project. Ha ha ha!